This is the spot where I felt like her mother knew.
Yeah.
She was like, he is a nice man.
I feel like her mother didn't quite understand the assignment.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to your brand new Dear Shandy Love is Blind recap, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Well, you sound very low.
Yeah, I do sound low.
Why is that?
I don't know why. In a world.
Why is that so sexy? I wish I didn't find it sexy, but I do.
I think low is masculine.
Is that what it is?
So yeah, like this is very low. Like a DJ on the radio.
Yeah, but you
has
can't.
A low, sexy voice.
It
like
can't
this.
start to sound like an affect though.
Right, I'm not doing affect here. This is my real voice. Does that sound different? Does that sound sexier?
Yeah, but you still need to have like ups and downs. Like it still needs to sound like a speaking voice. Right now, it sounds like you're trying to keep your voice up.
How about this? So I'm talking to you like this, and then I inflect all over the place, and now I'm really cool and sexy. Sounds good? No?
Yeah, actually, that's actually not bad.
No.
Okay. Well, Andy, we have a Love is Blind recap to get to today.
All right.
Okay. The big finale, Andy. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's kind of a downer, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw it coming, though.
We did. One of them, I think I was being, cautiously optimistic about, but we'll get there.
I thought contractually they had to have at least someone, but apparently not.
That's what I thought. I thought a couple had to end up married, but I guess you can't force such things. Okay, so we're going to start off with...
Sorry, I had a hair in my mouth.
So we're going to start off with Anton and Ali. Okay, so our first scene with Ali and Anton is Ali with her friends. This was a hilarious scene.
Yeah, she's got some friends.
She has a friend who sounds Russian.
Yeah.
Right? This friend is Russian. She was speaking about Russian culture very authoritatively. She talked about how in Russian culture, the man is the provider. It's tradition for the men to support the family. She said, maybe Anton's doing it on a budget. And then she snickers. This friend, I mean, she left me speechless, this friend. She was kind of mean.
Yeah, she was mean.
She was mean.
She's a mean Russian.
Yeah, but you could tell that she had no attachment to Anton, right?
No. Although she pronounced his name in correct Russian. Anton.
Yeah. Well, not that we would know. Ali says Anton makes really good money. Well, good money.
Yeah. God,
and then
merciless.
This same friend asks if Ali's okay with him being a truck driver. A lot of people might look down on that, especially a woman of her caliber.
Wow.
I was like, do you know you're being filmed?
Yeah, she doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
Doesn't care. That's who she is in every outlet of her life. Why would she care if that's the way she is on TV?
Didn't it seem almost passé to have someone say this on reality TV? It's like, I feel like someone would say this when reality TV just came out.
Yeah, leave it to the Russians.
This is not a great look, I gotta say. The gist here is that Ali needs to choose Anton for who he is right now and not his potential, because she seems to talk about how he, But let's be honest. Now looking back, I think Ali always knew she wasn't going with Anton.
She always knew. She always knew.
Yeah. I think she used I think the drinking did bother her. I think the partying lifestyle did bother her. But I think honestly, Ali didn't mislead him in the pods. I think she made it pretty clear what she wanted, maybe without coming out with like numbers.
Both Ali and KB, there's of the three couples left.
Yeah.
Two were insincere. One really gave it a shot, I think.
Yeah.
Ali and KB were never interested in these partnerships.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Well, and I think it says something that they went to the altar with them, because it is significantly more cruel, I would think, to get to that point rather than just sitting in a living room. Not that I think the producers make it easy to just have the living room
I think they
scene.
are incentivized.
Yes.
Without a doubt. But Ali from the beginning was laying the groundwork for her out.
Yes.
She was saying, I want this. I do this.
Yeah,
These things are not going to make you happy.
She straight up was like, I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. We're going to have a chef. Can you afford my expensive Botox? I don't know if she worded it quite like that, but it was pretty much the gist.
She was giving herself many outs.
Yes.
And in the end, she took it all the way because she wanted to be on TV for a long time. Whatever the incentive was, I'm sure that was a factor too.
Yeah.
But she wanted to be there till the very end.
Here's the thing about Ali.
Same with KB.
I think Ali honestly saw this show as a way to just get out there, like 100%. Put herself out there, and then maybe land her rich guy subsequently.
And let me tell you something, bless her heart, because she did it right. What she did is she found a guy who could take it, Let's face it. Anton is maybe it's on the exterior only, but I think he's a pretty tough guy. I think he can handle this.
Well, he leads with that.
So
I also think he was a little too tough with her. Like, I think he wasn't quite adoring enough for what she probably was looking for. You talked about that, how he was a little too cool.
Yeah, he laid the groundwork for being a tough guy.
Yes.
She saw that. She used all her wiles to establish herself as a not viable partner for him.
Yeah.
And then she was laying the drinking groundwork and the money groundwork.
We said this last week. Yeah. She was investing.
She was putting it all in the bank.
Yeah.
All of these reasons why in the end she wouldn't look bad for saying no at the altar, and she wouldn't feel bad, and she wouldn't hurt him too terribly, right? All of it was laid.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing. She was doing this to raise her stock. And I think it was a great idea. She has raised her stock.
She has. I mean, I don't think she's going to be hurting for DMs from wealthy men
her
now.
DMs are going to literally there's going to be nuclear fission in her DM box.
DMs with bank statements.
Yes, there will be those.
I mean, I do think that there will probably be people who think Ali was really cruel. We'll get to the actual wedding part. But I think the whole gold digger thing doesn't really shine the most favorable light on her, especially if you add this friend into the mix. And the friend who's like, yes, but he's a truck driver. Like, you're a woman of your caliber, that sort of thing.
Well, her friend kind of blew her cover.
Yes. Her friend blew her cover.
She didn't help her cause at all.
No.
She diminished her stock. She made her look more cruel. And I will say that the way Ali handled Anton's mother and the whole lead up to the nuptials was a bit over the top and cruel. Like, I even was not 100% sure she was saying no at the end, but she had convinced us so much.
Yeah.
I think she could have toned that down a little bit.
Well, I do think at the very end we saw what a good actor Ali was.
She is. She's great.
And here's the thing I want to add to the whole gold digger thing. I just think it is everyone's prerogative to seek whatever they want. Like, if she thinks she can get it and wants it that bad, if that's a priority for her, she's allowed to make it a priority. I don't think it makes her a bad person.
No.
But I do think that it will come at a cost.
Absolutely.
Nothing is free in this life.
No.
And a man who maybe makes X number of dollars that she's satisfied with might not be attentive or a good listener or ever available to hang out, might be working 24/7, or there might be this like power imbalance in their relationship, as I know there often can be when one person makes all the money. So, if she's willing to make that trade-off down the road, power to her. No judgment. I just think that there will be a trade-off.
Yeah. And her image is tarnished somewhat. I mean, she has to accept that her image is now gold digger.
Yeah. But she really doesn't seem apologetic about it.
No, I think she's okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the wedding day here. I do have to point out how insanely gorgeous she is without makeup on.
No.
Ali is really stunning. She knows she's stunning.
Yeah.
I guess. Isn't that funny? Ali is stunning, and therefore she probably can get a really rich man.
That's life.
That's how the world works.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy.
And she's going to be on Perfect Match.
I don't know if Ali's going to do Perfect Match.
Really?
I don't think going on Perfect Match would raise Ali's stock.
I think you're right. I think she did what she came to do.
Yes.
I think she's done.
Oh, Ali.
Now she's going to wait for the fish to come to the hook.
Perfect Match is officially like, okay, now you're on TV for the sake of being on TV. You're not looking better for going on TV and doing those challenges where you're like suck and blow and like sleeping with someone different and like every night.
Yeah.
I think Ali is like a little more buttoned up than that.
You know what I'm going to say? I think Ali's better than Perfect Match.
She obviously is better than Perfect Match. And I think she thinks she's better than Perfect Match, more importantly. While getting her makeup done, her mother says that she does not like how Anton drinks. So you can tell that Ali has told her mother, and her mother is like...
I feel like her mother didn't quite understand the assignment. I think her mother was trying to lay the groundwork for Ali saying no.
Yeah.
Why? But she was like, no.
Yeah.
You don't say that.
Yeah.
You just smile and say you're so happy, a few tears.
100% her mother knew that Ali was going to say no.
100%.
100%. You could tell even just how she behaved. And also when Ali came back down the aisle, like even during the wedding part, her mother was like,
yeah, she was waiting. She's like, how is this going to happen? Not what is going to happen.
Yes, it felt like her mother was in on it.
Yeah.
About the drinking in this moment, Ali does say she's giving Anton grace. And speaking of which, actually, we got an interesting DM in the last week from someone who was more familiar with Russian culture. And she wasn't defending the amount that Anton drinks, but just said I think we all probably
Russians
know this.
love a good drink.
Russians love, I mean, yeah.
They love their vodka.
Their vodka, yeah.
You know, someone else, not someone, but several people chimed into the comments last week. And I'd be remiss not to mention that it's a very good theory, and I believe it, that he was making up the fact that Patrick came over for drinks.
100%.
I was confused. I was tied up in deciding whether he was in the lobby or upstairs.
Yeah.
But I don't think Patrick was there at all. I think he just drank all the drinks.
I was focused on something totally different, which was her interest in whether or not someone else had been in their apartment, because I just thought that was really relatable. It had nothing to do with whether or not it was true that Patrick had been, had come around or whatever. I was not focused on that. I just thought it was relatable to be like, was he in the apartment?
Right.
It was just more her response. But yeah, no, I think he 100% made up.
Yeah, he just drank all the drinks.
I think he drank all the drinks.
Drank all the drinks.
He drank them all. Okay, so Anton's mother arrives now. This was a very cute scene. This was up there for me, I would say, second most touching scene in the entire finale. Yeah. His mother arriving, they're speaking in Russian to each other. And you could tell she's worried for him. And he says in Russian, I'm nervous. Yeah. And you could just see him being like finally softening with his mother in his native tongue. Yeah. Didn't he seem softer, more boyish, and just a little like sweeter?
Yes.
I just feel like Anton has a lot of like walls up. He's really guarded, which I don't blame him. I mean, I think that if you end up being paired with someone like Ali, you're kind of like, shit. He had a formidable opponent is all I'm saying. But there was just something so sweet how she's like, you're my, what did she call him? You're my golden one, my favorite, my joy. She's just like building him up here. And she says that he needs to be appreciated for his soul and not everything can be counted with a bucket.
I mean, Anton's got a great safety net.
Yes, a mother's love.
Yeah.
Which, later on we don't see. Yeah.
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Someone who has no safety net.
Yes.
And never did.
Never did. Heartbreaking. Yeah. But this was just such a sweet scene. And one of the reasons why Anton can be tough probably is because he has this. Someone just telling him how wonderful he is. And if she doesn't want him, then it's her loss. You are that great. It was just a really
really solid mother-son dynamic.
Yeah,
there.
really
enviable.
Sweet. But also not too, he didn't become too boyish in her presence. He was like, okay, like
he's still a man.
Yeah,
he's just a man who loves his mother.
Yeah, like there came a point where I think he was like, she was like fawning over him a little too much. He was
like, okay, we're on TV. We're on TV.
Yeah, I'm good, Mom. I'm good. Okay, so now Ali is in her wedding gown. She's receiving visitors. His mother now arrives to tearfully ask how she feels about Anton, and Ali says, I love him. This is the spot where I felt like her mother knew. Yeah. She was like, he is a nice man.
Oh, she 100% knew.
She was not as good an actor as Ali.
No, she wasn't good.
Now her sister's visit, including the sister from whom she has been estranged, it seems.
Yeah. We don't know the backstory, but they are estranged.
I did kind of feel like there wasn't enough buildup for this to be really moving, but it did seem like the producers worked hard to make sure the sister came.
And it was impactful.
Yeah.
This was a real meeting.
Yeah, but honestly, it means less when she ends up saying no.
I agree.
Like when this is just like, I didn't approve of this, but you do what's right for you. It's like, okay, well, she says no.
Well, the main event really was her meeting her estranged sister.
Yes.
The rest was just, we knew what was going to happen.
Totally. Maybe it'll bring them together again, in which case that's, Ali really comes out on top. Okay, so now we have the wedding. It did seem like she was going to say yes. She was smiling at him so encouragingly.
She went too far.
You think so?
She went a little too far.
You think it was too cruel?
Yeah.
He says, I do. And there is amazing, tense music here. I got to say the soundtrack was really on point in this finale. And finally, she says, I can't be your wife. She says the person she got to know in the pods is not the person he is in real life. Andy, you said she's a killer. A cold-blooded assassin.
I mean, she basically played this like a magic trick. Like she knew 100% that Anton was not going to be her husband from very early on.
Yeah.
And yet she decided to play it to the end as a sleight of hand.
Yes, and to make it his fault.
His fault. She put it on him. He said, you. It's not me. It wasn't it's me, not you.
Yeah.
It was it's you, not me.
Yes. Fully.
Yeah.
Fully. She fully blames him. And at the altar, no less, it'd be one thing if I can't be your wife. I'm so sorry. I love you. I'm not 100% there, a la KB. Instead, she's like, no, you're not who I thought you were.
Incredible.
She cries after, but I mean.
I think she cried because it's always hard to do that unless you're a psycho.
Yeah. And I mean, she was really hurting him. She claims to have loved him. So, okay, now as she runs off sobbing, we hear a woman from his side say, cold-hearted bitch.
I mean, it's a decent read.
Okay, we have to admit, Anton doesn't seem that surprised.
Doesn't seem that surprised, but he does seem upset. I think that's the most upset you ever see Anton.
Yeah.
Eating snacks with a stone cold face, like trying to bury his emotions.
And drinking.
And doing some drinking. Parallel as women vitamins.
But truly, when did taking these one-size-fits-all vitamins, when did that ever make sense? Parallel is the first OBGYN-founded vitamin company, and so all of their products are pregnancy and breastfeeding safe, but they also have all these products designed for women at different stages in life.
Vitamins need to be designed specifically for those using them. And who more needing a design specific than a woman with baby in stomach?
So Parallel creates products for women at every stage. So we are talking menstrual health, we are talking fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, and more. And honestly, that's how it should be, because I think out of all the things in this world that can be generic, vitamins should not be that.
And I've seen you digging into this cellular hydration bucket.
I have been digging in. I love that stuff. It's a collagen and hyaluronic acid drink. I love it. It tastes like mango lemonade. And it's for women, Andy. It's for women. Whether or not you have baby in the stomach.
So exclusive to our Shandies, new customers get 20% off their first order with code Shandy.
Visit parallelhealth.com. That's PERELELHEALTH.com.
Olipop, Olipop, oh, Olipop, Olipop.
Good, Andy.
I haven't loved a soda in a long time.
Olipop is a soda brand that we've actually been buying for since before they became a sponsor, because we were so impressed with the numbers.
Who would have thought you could get fiber, and not just a little, a lot of fiber from drinking a delicious soda? And by the way, the taste is not compromised one bit. As a matter of fact, it tastes better than most sodas you buy with names that I can't say, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, okay. So right now I'm holding the brand new limited edition Pineapple Paradise, which is in collaboration with Paramount, Andy, because the new SpongeBob movie is coming out. And so I think it's so fun. You can get one of 4 different cans of SpongeBob. If you buy a 4-pack, like feasibly all 4 could have different cans. I think that's so fun for kids.
That's so fun as a kid.
But let me look at these numbers, because let's say you're the parent and you're like, well, I don't want my kid having soda, which is understandable, but look at these numbers. 1 can of the Pineapple Paradise, 35 calories, 6 whopping grams of prebiotic fiber. And this one, only 4 grams of sugar. That is insane. And by the way, their vintage cola flavor has 2 grams of sugar, while your usual cola has 39 grams of sugar.
39?
39.
So get $2 off a 4-pack of Olipop.
Works on any flavor of 4-pack, including SpongeBob, at any retailer.
Go to drinkolipop.com/Shandy.
That's drinkolipop.com/Shandy.
Olipop is sold online at drinkolipop.com and Amazon.
And is available in almost 50,000 retailers nationwide, including
Costco, Walmart, Target, Publix,
Whole Foods, Kroger, and H-E-B. Allie in her confessional says that she had hoped he would say no.
Over the deafening roar of rich men DMing her.
She says standing up there didn't feel right, or how she would expect that moment to feel. And ultimately, she says he did not properly convey his lifestyle in the pods. And I'm just amazed by him, honestly, in the scene. He's just like...
No, nothing.
He showed almost no emotion.
Buried it. Put it down.
Buried it. And I feel...
Took it out back. Shot it.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Anton is, like, I think if Anton were a more sympathetic, more vulnerable person on the season, if he had let us in to fall in love with him more, Ali would come off looking way worse.
Absolutely.
But Anton did not do himself any favors all season.
No, he played it too cool.
He's been kind of a cold fish.
Yeah.
And not, like, I don't feel I think he's going to be fine. I'll put it that way.
He's going to be just fine. Yeah, I did not shed a tear. Let's put it that way.
No, not here anyway. Okay. I mean, we knew this wasn't going to work out. There's just, can we move on?
Well, yeah, I think we're good.
I think Ali will find what she's looking for. And they can each find someone better suited to them.
They're
clearly.
both going to do very well. Ali's just going to do a little better.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure on a man.
A lot.
I think it's a lot. I sometimes feel for men who are like he's working his ass off. He worked at McDonald's. It was like at 13 or something. You know, he came from nothing from a financial standpoint and is working his butt off. I just think it's a lot of pressure on men to like provide. I think that's got to be hard.
It is hard. I also think that to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think that he saw the writing on the wall very early on.
Oh,
I think
100%.
he looked at Ali and he was like, this is a long shot.
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff she said, he was like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah.
But he wanted it to work. Let's be honest. He's like, maybe this will work. But I think one of the reasons he played it so cool, and in retrospect, I give him some grace for that, is because he kind of was like, I don't want to go full on into this.
Yes. I have to protect myself.
He had to protect. Usually I say, no, open up your heart, be vulnerable, do it. But in this case, you know what? Maybe it was the right move to be a little cool.
Yeah. And I mean, little things, he's like, oh, you're not going to break my heart. And she says, what heart?
Oh, yeah. How ironic.
I know, right? Okay, moving on now then, Andy, to KB and Edmond. So right off the top, we get Word Watch 1. You were very excited. Edmond in his confessional says, I'm ready to say yes. I'm ready to make her
my wife.
Okay, KB's mom visits Edmond now. This is where it starts. The tears begin here. Because we learn here that his mother couldn't make it. Couldn't make it, whatever that means. And it wasn't because of KB, but some things came up. This was absolutely heartbreaking. Just knowing what he had shared in the pods and his parents just not being reliable. His father was there, but honestly, his father was like...
What was his father just looking for his TV shot?
Like,
what was
or
he doing
what?
there?
Like, it almost seemed like he was there just like hang out for a while. Like, even when Edmond was heartbroken, you didn't see his father giving him some.
When was the last time his father came to something Edmond was cared about? Like, has he been around?
I don't know, but the fact that his mother wasn't there when he in the pods had talked about how unreliable she was, how she wasn't around. I mean, people have been saying, did he talk about how she was a former addict?
I'm pretty sure she was a former addict.
And it's just really heart-wrenching. Like, finally, she's like, how did you forgive your mother?
Yeah.
And he said, well, she's my mother. She's my mom.
Oh, God.
And then to know that she doesn't come to the wedding day, it's just like...
It's brutal.
Oh.
It's like heart-wrenching.
And it was I thought it was really sweet of KB's mom.
Yeah.
And KB signed off on that. Like,
oh, yeah.
They were trying to give him that
KB's mom
energy.
Became his grandmother
in that
scene.
Yeah, just someone. And she says, don't let this steal his joy. She seems absolutely lovely. And now his 5th grade teacher, Jesse, arrives. And this is where the waterworks begin.
I'm telling you, if you didn't shed a tear during this whole situation, you're a psychopath. And I'm not saying you're a bad person because, they say 1 out of 100 people are psychopaths. And we have tens of thousands of Shandys. So we're talking at least hundreds of psychopaths watch Dear Shandy.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean they're bad people. That just means they lack some, frontal lobe development. And they probably are they contribute to society. They have friends. They have loved ones. They're decent people. I'm just saying that they're psychopaths. So if you didn't cry at all during this episode, I'm sorry to say, but you're a psychopath.
I don't think I've ever cried so hard watching reality TV. Like, honestly, the only time I think I've cried harder was at like Inside Out, the movie. In this case,
Inside Out was both 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Inside
tears.
Out, it was more like there was like the nostalgia of it. Like it was just like
Wall-E hit me even harder.
Wall-E
than
was also very
Out.
hard. But I mean, this was Pixar level tear gate. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen anything so sad.
I almost feel like this should have had an X rating.
Yeah,
like this was it should have had a trigger
warning. So his teacher arrives. And he's describing what she means to him. He says that she's his guardian angel, really, and that she supported him through his whole life. She always looked out for him, gave him extra tutoring when he needed it, got him meals so he wouldn't go to bed hungry, and disciplined him when he needed it. Sorry.
Oh, I don't blame you.
And she promises that she's his constant and that he changed her. He changed her perspective on what it means to be in a classroom. Like this woman's amazing.
She's a literal saint.
Yeah.
She should be sainted. Is that what happens? You saint someone?
Yeah. And I mean, what I love too is it wasn't like just like, you could feel her love for him. It wasn't just like for her. You know, some people I think are saintly because it's for them. Right. Or they're like, oh, but I'm being so saintly. You could tell she was like building up. She looked at him like she loves who he is. Like she understands him. It was just so moving. And then he says, oh, you'll always be Mrs. Welsh to me. And she's like, you can call me Jessie. You can call me Mom.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? This is like, let me tell you something. I tried so hard not to cry. But, I'm a man and you know how I am about crying.
So
I try not to. I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't
there
stop
was a
it.
point,
I couldn't stop it.
We had to pause a show to cry. Like I was crying, like fully like cry. And then I was like, there's no, like, how is Andy doing this? And I looked over at you and you looked over at me and your eyes were all red and watery. I was like, okay, he's also crying.
You can call me Mom.
How
do you get through that?
And I love how she kind of said it in passing too, like it's like implied.
Oh my God.
And how she's like, I will always be your constant.
Oh.
Also, you know, like she's young. She's a lot younger than you would expect for like his fifth grade teacher. And what it did is it reminded me that he's young.
He is young.
Like I know he's probably around 30 or so, but 30 is still, a lot of people, depending on how old you are, 30 might seem old to you, but given what he's been through, he has turned out incredibly well.
I want to talk about something. A lot of people in the comments were talking about how we were infantilizing Edmond.
Us?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
no, but everyone was. Everyone, not just us. There were many people, quote, infantilizing.
Oh, let me
Edmond.
guess. They were like defending KB.
Of course.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not taking any sides here right now, but I'm saying, yes, we were infantilizing Edmond. And I'll tell you why. Because Edmond stopped growing up the day his parents decided to not be his parents anymore. And he was arrested right there in development. And it's not his fault that he acts like a child. But I will say he chose the path of good because he could have become a very bad child.
Yes.
Someone who does terrible things, someone who ends up in prison or becomes a terrible person.
Yeah, he's a college graduate.
He's a college graduate. He chose to do something with his life despite having no safety nets, despite having no support.
Yeah.
No role models except his fifth grade teacher. And by the way, that's late in life for a kid developing fifth grade. You're already almost a man.
Well, you're
at that
like
point.
10.
You're 10. And he had no support. He chose the path of good. He wears fun socks. I like fun socks.
Yeah.
He wears fun clothes. He dances around. He sings. He's open with his emotions.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to kill insects.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get into a fight. He doesn't want to cause trouble in the club. This kid made decisions. And yes, he is a kid still. He's a kid because he didn't ever start growing up from the time he was left alone as a kid. He always wants to be that kid. He wants to have his childhood and have a mother and have a father and have a partner.
Yeah.
And yes, he is looking for a mother, unfortunately, in a partner right now.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Well, so some people said in other comments that he cannot be in a romantic relationship until he starts to heal his wounds.
Yes. And he clearly needs to do work. He can't be a child forever.
Yeah.
He needs to do work. And I understand that.
He does need to work on his communication in a fight, like when he doesn't get his way.
Yes.
Like the sex thing, like him breaking into
100%.
tears.
He has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lifetime of work for Edmond.
No, absolutely.
But to say that, I'm taking KB's side because he's a grown man. You can't make him an infant. It's his fault.
Also,
he needs to be a man. No. You can't say that. Too many strikes against him at a young age for him to have the burden of having to be a man.
Also, KB knew all of this about him and still chose him. I know it's different, like
she
in
knew
person,
everything.
But I'm not coming at her either because I do think that she wanted to save him. She's a social worker. She has a lot of empathy. We could go over this a million times. They're clearly not right for each other, but I do think that they both meant so well with each other that in the end, even like she breaks his heart at the end, like I still think she did it as heartfeltly as she possibly could.
KB did everything until the end, especially that altar situation, as best as it could be done. However,
except for in some of the fights, she was super condescending. I do think she was like nasty at times.
I have a bone to pick. She is a social worker. She's worked with people like Edmond before. She knew from the beginning that Edmond was not going to be her husband. No one's going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
The fact that she is a social worker who works with people like this and knows the personality took him all the way to the altar, despite her doing it as elegantly and as heartfelt, with as much heartfelt passion as possible and gentleness.
Yeah.
She should not have taken him to the altar. She knew better. She did that for other incentives. The cost was too high.
Yeah.
And I have to fault her for that.
Yeah.
Taking Anton to the altar. Different.
Yeah.
Anton's got a mother who literally would die for him and is there every step of the way.
Right there. Yeah. Like,
Edmond has a 5th grade teacher who has other things to do in her life. That's all he has.
Yeah.
He did not deserve to be taken to the altar. She knew better, but I will say she did it as elegantly as humanly possible.
If I'm honest, when this should have ended was after the snowmobile fight.
100%.
Either at that fight or when he comes with the flowers to apologize. You know, she had cooled down. He had cooled down. I just think that was the scene where this should have ended.
No one can convince me that she didn't know that this man wasn't going to be her husband. The same way no one can convince me that Ali didn't know that Anton was going to be her husband. Yeah. However, Anton can handle it.
This brings me back to what I said last week where, because we were like, what is KB doing? Why is she still in this? Like, isn't she breaking up with him? Like, yes, they're supposed to make it to the altar. Yes, we know contractually they're supposed to. Isn't it so interesting? So interesting. Okay, so let's unpack this. The 5 couples, 3 of them, the woman ended it. And I honestly think Megan probably fought tooth and nail to not go to the altar.
Yes.
I just think it's interesting that the 2 men who ended it earlier. They're like, I'm not going to the altar. Like, I'm breaking the rules. I don't care. What are you going to do? Sue me? Okay, sue me. Like, that's probably their attitude about it. They're like, I just can't do this anymore. Megan, meanwhile, is bolstered by the confidence that comes from being like, I have a huge security net.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? I want to break up with him in a living room. I am not taking the altar. Come at me.
Yeah.
Okay. No. But then you look at the 2 women who don't necessarily have that. They go all the way to the altar and break up with the guy there. I think that there is a difference. I think that women are naturally more rule followers. They're afraid of like breaking the rules and doing things wrong and getting in trouble. I know I am. As much as I would like to think that I would end it in a living room and not put someone through this, certainly, I mean, Edmond, that's a different story. Like, I can't imagine ever doing that. But I can picture myself being like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, okay.
I also think that Ali and KB were acting selfishly. I think this was a career choice for them.
Yeah.
I think Megan didn't need it, and Megan chose to take control of the situation.
Right. It's probably a bit of both, to be honest.
Whatever literal incentives or figurative incentives were with KB and Ali, they took them to the end.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're right. I'm just also adding to the mix that I think women are a little more by the book.
Followers.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Okay, so now it's the wedding. Very cute how his teacher, Jesse, walks him down the aisle.
Yeah. And sad. Again, it's all sad.
It was sad. It was just cute. She gives him another pep talk here and he says, thank you, Jesse. So he finally uses her name. And his vows, didn't his vows almost sound like he was pleading with her?
Yes.
Things like, give me some pressure. I've got it. In your vows. Pretty much all his vows were like, give me a chance to prove myself. I can be the person
but
you
I
want
also
me to be.
hate to say it, and I hate to reduce Edmond to this, but it really felt like a kid begging his mother to stay.
Yes.
It felt like a kid like, I promise I won't do it again. I promise. Please, Mom, please.
Yeah, totally.
Don't punish me again.
Totally.
And it's that pattern has to break, but KB knew that pattern was happening.
Well, she talks about what an amazing man he is. He's made her a better woman. He says, I do. And then it's tense. And she finally says he deserves someone who's 100%. She's not there, but it doesn't mean she doesn't love or accept him. She hugs him and asks if he's okay. And he says he's not okay. And she says, but that's what a strong person looks like. It's okay to not be okay. And that felt very reminiscent of the pods. It's like, hey, you're crying. That's good. You're strong, blah, blah, blah.
Came full circle.
Yeah. She says it was a really hard decision. He's amazing. He is enough.
Good. She said all the right things. She was good.
I wrote, she really does seem to be handling him with care. Like she's trying. But I agree with you. I think that as much as you can try to get his hopes up, to like go all the way to the altar like this.
Don't do that to Edmond. You can do that to some people. You can't do that to Edmond.
Yeah.
And I think that truly, I think KB at heart is a good person.
100%.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think she got conflicted and something got crossed up with the whatever incentives they were, whether they be monetary, career, just experience, being on TV, whatever it was.
Or just not feeling like she had permission to end it
soon. Or maybe it was a project. She's like, I got to see this to the end. But if it was a project, she certainly would have taken the project to the altar. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, I've got to build on my point though, because we have to remember what pressure they are under to not end it sooner.
Understood.
First you have Nick. Nick, I bet you got the least flack. He's like, I want to end it with Annie. I can't do it. And producers are like, oh no, you have to go to the altar. And he's like, no, I'm ending. And they're like, okay. So now you're down to 4. Next up, Joe. He melts down at the tux fitting. Yeah. He's like, I can't do this, man. I'm out. And they probably tried to convince him. And he's like, no, I'm done. Now you're down to 3. You think that they were going to make it easy for KB
no, they weren't.
to not go to the altar with Edmond?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying she was conflicted. Yes. She was given incentives. There were carrots there from production, from life, from her mind.
Yeah.
They were there. And I don't blame her. As a human being, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand why she went to the end. But I'm just saying, in retrospect, down the road, I think KB's going to look back 100%. And be like, I shouldn't have done that.
I agree.
I should have let him go after that snowmobile incident.
I agree. So Andy, you and everyone knows that I enjoy my shopping. I care about looking put together, about knowing, even if like a new style isn't my style, I like knowing what's in style. I like to have my finger on the pulse. And there's no better place to have your finger on the pulse than at Revolve.
Since I've known you, I have lost count of the number of Revolve boxes that I've seen come in that door.
Well, Revolve, okay, first of all, they have new drops daily. They have everything from high-end designers to emerging designers to exclusive designers. My top is from Revolve. Actually, my jeans are also from Revolve. I bought these over the years. A substantial portion of my wardrobe over the years has been purchased at Revolve. I love the variety. I love their inclusive sizing. They have extra, extra small through 4X.
And Revolve is fun.
Yes. Their pieces are fun. I also love that you can filter based on event, like the occasion. So let's say you're going to a summer wedding. Every single piece is fun. Like you'll see pieces on Revolve that you don't see anywhere else. And you're like, that's fun.
Everything I see from Revolve is fun. Even when it's not fun, it's fun.
So whether it's a weekend away, a big night out, or just a little style refresh,
your dream wardrobe is just one click away.
Head to revolve.com/Shandy, shop my edit, and get 15% off your first order when using code Shandy.
Fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally the only place you need to shop from.
That's revolve.com/Shandy to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code Shandy.
Offer ends November 6th. Happy shopping. Sharleen, I am about to indulge in a thing that I look forward to more than I'm comfortable discussing.
Oh.
Hold on one moment.
Andy is dipping his spoon into
liquid
the menu.
Gold.
Yeah, and just eating it straight. I mean, have you ever tasted honey so delicious? Exactly. Raw Manuka honey, first of all, is, everyone knows, the creme de la creme of honey. But there's a lot of fakes out there. I have never tasted honey as delicious and as nutrient dense as Manucora.
First of all, Manucora is from the Manuka tea tree found only in the forests of New Zealand.
Yes, remote forests.
Of course, obviously. And it has 3 times the antioxidants in most other honeys.
So you cannot talk about Manuka honey without talking MGO. This is really important. It's basically the barometer for knowing how high quality and how good for you your Manuka honey is, like how legit it is, basically. It's a special antibacterial compound found in the nectar of the Manuka tea tree. And you can see right there, the one Andy's holding has a massive MGO of 850. That is like, I mean,
it's insane.
What do we even compare that to? If you go to your store and like grab your average Manuka honey off the shelf, you're going to see it's like 60.
Just the taste alone is more than enough reason to buy this honey.
It tastes like almost caramel.
It tastes forbidden. So now it's easier than ever to try Manucora honey.
Head to manucora.com/Shandy to save up to 31%.
Plus $25 worth of free gifts with a starter kit.
Which includes an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook.
That's manucora.com/Shandy.
To save 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts.
Sharleen, pick a factor. Any factor. Are you sure that's the factor you choose?
Yes, it's the factor I choose.
Place it back in the factor deck.
I have here the roasted tomato.
Place it back in the factor deck. Thank you. Pick the top factor. Is that the factor you chose?
Yes!
Aha!
What a magic trick, Andy. This is indeed the roasted tomato and feta cavatappi with parmesan, broccoli, and peppers from Factor. Never frozen, dietitian approved, yet chef prepared.
And let me tell you something. After this recording, the first thing that I will be doing is shoving one of these in the oven.
Actually, the oven is literally preheating right now.
If you listen carefully, you can hear it.
The hum of the oven. We order Factor regularly because we think it's delicious. It has the restaurant taste we talk about, but it's completely prepared for you. And I love that it's never frozen, so it doesn't have that sad texture.
And do these sound boring to you? Japanese tofu and sesame brown rice, African peanut curry and tofu, 3-bean vegan chili. Well, that is a little boring, but it's good.
No, but notice there was a Japanese dish. There was an African dish. I love how you get to taste all these different cuisines.
By the way, that 3-bean vegan chili comes with cornbread casserole and tofu-based crema.
It just makes it so easy to live and eat healthy, and it's also just so convenient.
So eat smart at factormeals.com/Shandy50off and use code Shandy50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year.
That's code Shandy50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year.
Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
She melts down. I mean, she leaves crying. She feels very bad. I do think KB
I believe
feels terrible.
She feels bad.
Edmond cries. His teacher comes to comfort him, tells him God had other plans, and she tells him he shines. He impacts every person he meets. Lots of tears. Edmond in his confessional says he's just hurt. Quote, "It's still lonely out here in the world." And that's it. That's it, Andy.
That's it.
Interesting how we didn't see any follow-up scenes with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in other seasons, Ali and Anton might have come to his room to talk to him, or here at KB and Edmond. It's like when it was done, it was done.
It was done. The show was over.
Yeah.
It was a sketch. It was over.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I think, and I hope that KB and Edmond remain friends.
I think they will.
And I really do hope that.
Yeah.
Because I think that the price, and I'm not saying it's bad to be Edmund's friend. I think he's a lovely person to be friends with. I'm just saying the price that I feel she should pay is to maintain a friendship with her. I'm sorry. I know that sounds bad. And
he's probably a lovely...
No, I think he's a wonderful friend. He's probably great
but honestly,
to be friends
I actually
with.
don't think it'll be good for him in the beginning.
You're right. Yeah,
like that's
the catch-22.
Yeah, like there was a point where she was like, "Oh, I'll never close the door fully to you," or something like that. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was meant romantically.
No, it's
but
not
I was
romantic.
I was just like, no, this needs to be like cut clean.
Yeah.
You know, you're never gonna end up with this guy.
It's true. You're right. He needs to move on from this experience.
Yeah, and from her.
You're right.
Yeah.
I take that back. She actually would be a better person not to be friends with him.
No. I mean, what I'm saying is, I think one day, but first there has to be a grieving period where he gets over it.
I agree.
I mean, I was very moved by him.
Oh, this was too much.
In some ways, I think it was irresponsible.
It was irresponsible
to have cast him.
Yes, that is for certain.
But then again, though, I fell in love with him. I think a lot of people have fallen in love with him. How could you not? But who knows? Maybe over the last year, it's been like the most rewarding year for him. I hope so.
I think this was probably I think this is what I think. I think Edmond has been through enough that he can take it.
Yeah.
Despite
I
him
think he's
being
tougher than he seems.
A gentle little kid, he really can take it. He's been through way worse than Love is Blind.
Yes.
Way worse. Foster care bounced around for how many years? God knows.
Yeah.
So I think that this experience, what he will get from this is the world now knows him. And he will get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Some not great, some good.
But I think mostly good.
In the end, I think he's going to be a happier person because he went on the show despite the real pain he experienced on it.
Yeah. And I hope someone cute slides into his DMs.
He's going to get
and they can go
DMs.
rollerblading together.
Oh, he's going to be He's probably rollerblading right now with someone.
It is his life, in his own words. Okay, so finally, Andy, we're moving on to Megan and Jordan. So the opening scene we see with Megan is her having a fireside chat with her friends. Didn't it feel like they sent them all to like on some ski trip and then we didn't actually see any footage of the actual ski trip?
Yes.
Because there was a scene with Ali in like kind of like opera ski clothes.
Yeah. Unless they were just doing a ski themed.
A ski themed party. Megan's friend, I have to point out, was wearing like a bikini top with a faux fur coat over.
Well, she was cold, so she got to have a coat on.
Okay, so the debate here is whether or not the issue is Jordan or the impact on Megan's lifestyle, which of course is foreshadowing for the very next scene we see of them, which is after those other weddings or non-weddings, they are in their apartment. Isn't it crazy how fast things wrapped up with these two?
Yeah.
I think that they aired this out of order. I think they knew that Ali and Anton and KB and Edmond, like no one believed that was going anywhere. This was the only real cliffhanger, right? This was the only one that stood a chance. And so I think that I think she broke up with him before.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think this was like on the wedding day, to be honest. She says she thinks they're so different. I have to say, not to make this an I told you so, but last week I said I could see their taste in food being an issue, and she touches on that.
I think the taste in food was more symbolic about a lot of things.
100%, but it is a pain in the ass.
The kid and the taste in food. Luca.
Yeah, she mentions the food in the context of like, I like to do this and you would prefer that. And in the beginning, he's trying to change her mind. You notice that? Yeah. Like, I think it's very distinctly her breaking up with him.
Of course.
This is not mutual. He says he can get to the point where he can do things with her, just not yet. So like all the things she wants to do. And she says she's been doing the things she wants to do on her own for 4 years. She wants someone who can do it with her now. He says he's just a normal guy wanting to be a good dad. And she says she thinks she leaned into opposites attract, but she has reservations and that's not how she should feel heading into their wedding. And she doesn't want to go to the altar and put him through that. And this is where I wrote, I think she fought hard for this scene. I bet you it was not easy for Megan to break up with Jordan in their apartment like this.
I agree.
I really firmly believe that. We'll never know. Maybe we'll have Megan on one day, but even I don't know if she could even share that. But I think that it was probably not easy to make this happen. Because this was, I think, the most ethical thing to do.
Well, she said, I am not going to the altar. Do it how you want to do it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to the altar.
It's not happening.
And I think you're right. I think that they made it very difficult for her. And it's very possible that KB also said, hey, I don't want to go to the altar. And they're like, will this change your mind?
Or they were just like, no, here's the contract you signed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, you want it, we'll sue you.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe Megan is like, no, you're full of shit. I know, I'm from business.
So now it's just over. And Jordan, in his confessional, when asked if he has regrets, he says he regrets introducing her to Luca. Ooh,
yeah. Luca's... I mean, this was a dig. He actually took this whole thing pretty well and was pretty civilized about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the Luca comment was used with venom. I actually think it was an honest comment.
I think Jordan is honest.
He's genuinely like, I wish that Luca didn't have to experience the almost having a mom.
Well, Luca has a mom.
Well, another mom.
But I know you mean. I mean, Luca met her in the context of this is going to be your new stepmom.
Yeah.
And he's young.
Yeah. And I think he was genuinely like, I didn't like that. That was not good. And I have to deal with that now.
But in Megan's defense, I don't think that she has all the information unless she meets Luca.
I don't think that he was directing that comment at her as a barb. I think he was just stating a fact. He's like, I really wish that Luca hadn't been involved. It did feel a little barbed.
A
little bit. There was a light barb.
It felt slightly barbed.
It wasn't a double hook.
I mean, this
wasn't a fish hook.
This was it's like buyer beware. This was he knew it was a risk about introducing her. He knew that. I'm not coming at him. Like, I think that he was really hurt, but I do think it was like slightly barbed.
Yeah, a little bit, but he deserved a little barb. He got broken up with.
Yeah, that's
true.
It's
okay. You can have a little barb when you get broken up with.
He says, I feel like she doesn't love me for me, and that's the closure I need. I don't know if that's fair.
Yeah.
And I say that because
I think she does love him.
I think she loves him for him, but I don't think that what I love about these two. Okay, I absolutely love Megan and Jordan as like to be the fly on the wall and observe real reasons why people don't work out. It's not just love.
Money and looks. Half the breakups on Love is Blind are money and looks related.
The thing is, was it money? It was what money represents. It's so interesting. Like, I am sure there will be people who think Meghan is like snobby and like, you know, didn't want to deal with a working class guy. But I actually think, you know, it's badass to see a woman who's made her own money and has made this life for herself, and the fact that she doesn't want to give it up. You know, if she doesn't want to give that up, she shouldn't have to.
Yeah, she saw him as a burden. Unfortunately, I think he became.
That's not fair. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's too harsh a word. I'm going to try to relate to this as best I can, because when I went on The Bachelor a million years ago, I had one of the few bachelors who had a child. And I think his daughter at the time was around Luca's age, to be honest. And I remember when being asked about the prospect of being a stepmom, I was more like, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I wasn't really like super enthusiastic. And I got a ton of hate online for that, a ton. And granted, this was like a decade ago. And I think that the narrative has changed a bit, where it's like, yeah, if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't have to. But, you know, this idea of like, well, she knew that he had a son. You know, or like in my case, you knew the Bachelor had a daughter. It's not as simple as that. Like you are like open to the idea, but you have to sort of feel it out. Things have to feel right.
She probably romanticized the idea. She didn't know what the day-to-day was going to be like.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, as she said in the last batch, he is so depleted from working so hard and from parenting and from all the things that she doesn't end up getting the version of Jordan that she fell in love with. He doesn't have the time or the energy to be the person who he naturally is. And I can see that being very draining on her end.
Yes. And sometimes life is just unfair. Like, he had all the things that made her love him, except his life, the structure of his life did not fit into the puzzle of her structure. And that's just not fair. It's life is not fair.
No.
He didn't have enough money. He had a child. His job tired him out.
Yeah.
He didn't he didn't have the means or the really desire to go to fancy restaurants all the time.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't going to work for her.
No.
And that's not his fault. At heart, he's what she wants.
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough.
And I just think that's so relatable.
Yes.
You know, we in our Q&As, we'll get questions often about where to live, like how you disagree on like where to live, or just logistics. This is a logistics breakup. It's not working for things outside of who they are as individuals. And that is oftentimes why breakups happen.
In the end, I think this was the most mature relationship.
100%.
And it ended in the most mature way.
Yes. I felt like I was watching peers.
Yes.
Real life people that you might know, and them not working out because of a misalignment in their lifestyles.
Ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a close one.
Yeah.
They really were close.
It was a close one. And let's be honest, that's what makes it so relatable.
And what's so interesting is the close one didn't make it to the altar. Because they cared more about the thing.
I do think that she had to fight tooth and nail for it. I'm going to find out.
We're going to find out. Megan? Podcast.
Megan says something in her confessional here that just really hit me. She talks about, you know, how she'd considered becoming a stepmom and how this whole experience has her questioning whether or not she's cut out to be a mom. And I just thought this summed up, I think, what a lot of women, especially women in their 30s, face, which is, you know, they work their butts off in their careers and to establish their lives, and they establish really wonderful lives. And, you know, having children is a sacrifice, and maybe you're not 100% sure you want to do it.
And honestly, it was very brave of her to say that.
Oh, the fact that she said that on TV, I was just like, thank you.
I saw it maybe coming. I was like, is she going to say what I think she's going to say? I was like, wow, she said it.
Yeah, it was so honest.
Yeah.
These two in general were just pure honesty from beginning to end. And even though they didn't work out, how often is it that when it doesn't work out and you really thought it might, you still like them both?
Yes.
So much.
Yes.
I'm not team one or the other. And I'm a little bummed because my prediction last week was that they would.
Well, we both thought they probably wouldn't, but we thought that the show wouldn't allow no couples to get together.
That's how you felt. You felt that they wouldn't, but you were like, but one couple has to make it, so I guess it's them. For me, I just felt that they shared something really special, which I still think.
That's sweet.
I know. I believe in love. What do you want me to say?
Look, let's face it. This season of Love is Blind was
a downer.
It was the Jordan and Megan show, and everything else was a sideshow.
They were the hero couple.
Yeah,
they were. So all in all, kind of a downer season. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a season where no one ends up married.
I don't think we've seen that.
I haven't, but I haven't seen every season of this show. But like in a way, what was meant to happen happened. Like I don't want people to end up together if they don't want to end up together. But there was a feeling at the very end where you're like, what did I just watch?
But also, let's be honest. This is about the process. It's not really about the outcome, is it?
Oh, Andy, the journey, not the destination.
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Andy, that brings us to the end of this finale.
Right.
Only one.
My wife.
And there were 36 correct guesses. We're announcing our big prize now. And the winner of $150 to spend at Skims, a very great prize. Thank you, Skims, for sponsoring this, is Bree E Love 24. Bree Love 24. Create with Briley.
Wow, this is a real anticlimactic winner announcement.
You know who you are. Congratulations. You are the winner of $150 to spend at Skims for guessing correctly and then winning the draw. Yeah. So please email us by this Friday at midnight to claim your prize. It's dearshandy@gmail.com. Congratulations.
Should we say her name one more time just to make sure she knows who she is?
Okay. It was Bree, Brii Love 24.
Okay, got it.
She knows who she is.
She knows who she is.
Okay, who would we go for?
I guess Megan.
Oh, you're not going for Ali anymore?
Ali's a handful.
Ali's a little rich for your blood.
Yeah, it's just not.
That's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot.
That's hard.
There's a lot.
I mean, I'm not a man, but I can imagine being with someone like that. Like, I would just feel a little bit stressed.
No.
I would feel like the character from White Lotus season 3, where he's like, he's made all this money and suddenly like the house of cards is falling down and he's like, but without this money, I have no worth.
Yeah, he's
like
got
my family's,
he's got a murder for his family.
Yeah, my family's talking about how they would like sooner die. They would rather die than not have means.
I'm going for Megan.
Okay. I'm still going for Jordan.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Andy, that is a wrap for this recap.
Right.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok.
Leave us Apple and
Spotify.
Podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends. Oh, hit the hype button, and generally do all the things you do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Ruby.
Come on.
Ruby boo-boo. Come on, boo-boo.
Come on. Get up here.
She's
a good girl. Oh, she's a good girl. Okay. Go to mommy.
Okay.
Go to mommy.
Come to mommy.
Go to mommy.
Come to mommy.
Go to mommy.
Come on, mommy.
No. Go to mommy. She needs you. Remember, put her up to the mic. Put her up to the mic.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.